The story: David becomes king. In the land of Israel, after many years of strife and battles, the people longed for a leader who could bring unity and peace. That leader was David, the young shepherd who had defeated the mighty Goliath with nothing but a sling and a stone, and whose name was known throughout the kingdom for his courage and faith in God. The Lord had chosen David long before, anointing him through the prophet Samuel to be the future king of Israel. After the death of King Saul, the tribes of Israel came together. They gathered in Hebron, a city filled with hope and anticipation. The leaders of the tribes approached David and said, "We are your own flesh and blood. In the past, even when Saul was king, you were the one who led Israel in their military campaigns. And the Lord said to you, 'You will shepherd my people Israel, and you will become their ruler.'" Hearing their words, David's heart swelled with gratitude and humility. He knew that this moment was part of God's plan, and he accepted the responsibility with deep faith. So, the elders of Israel made a covenant with David in the presence of the Lord, and they anointed him as king over Israel. David was 30 years old when he became king, and he would reign for 40 years. He began by establishing Jerusalem as his capital, a city that would become known as the City of David. He led his men to Jerusalem, where the Jebusites, who were the original inhabitants, mocked him, saying, "You will not get in here. Even the blind and the lame can ward you off." But David, filled with courage and guided by God, conquered the fortress of Zion, making it the stronghold of his kingdom. Under David's rule, Jerusalem thrived. He built palaces and strengthened the city's defenses. David knew that it was not by his strength alone, but by the will of the Lord that he succeeded. He declared, "The Lord has established me as king over Israel and has exalted my kingdom for the sake of his people Israel." The fame of King David spread far and wide, and neighboring nations came to recognize his authority. Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David, along with cedar logs, carpenters, and masons who built a palace for him. David saw this as a sign that the Lord was with him, blessing his reign and establishing Israel as a great nation. David's reign brought peace, unity, and prosperity to Israel. He was not only a mighty warrior and a wise leader, but also a man after God's own heart. His psalms of praise and songs of worship echoed through the generations, reminding the people that true strength and success come from trusting in the Lord. And so David, the shepherd who once tended his father's flocks in the fields, now sat on the throne as king of Israel, fulfilling God's promise and leading his people with justice and love.